Hey everybody, Brandy here from Raise 'em Up Homestead, and I want to share some of my mistakes in my garden with you. And so let me show you my tomatoes. And what I want to show you is the difference in soil quality. When I first got here, I built raised beds because I was going to go get dirt and fill them up, because in Oregon we had places where you could order a dump truck load full of just good quality soil. Not so much here in eastern Kentucky. There is a little farm stand down the road from me, and I got some dirt and compost and soil from them, but the soil was pretty much the clay that I had now, and it is just not, it's not doing as well as I had hoped. I'm going to show you another part of my bed that's doing amazing. And what I did is I found a local farmer who had some 3-year-old compost that he had been stewing up, and it had it had manure from every animal you could think of, plus his home and farm. And so I'm going to show you the difference, and you will see the difference. And I'm actually going to call that gentleman up and see if he has more, if I can get some more this weekend, so I can go over everything with another round of compost, see if I can save some of these tomatoes. So you'll get to see the difference. Okay, here is my garden bed. So these tomatoes are the ones I planted with just soil and a little bit of compost. And they're pretty sad looking, no matter what fertilizer I've been trying to use on them. Banana peel water, calcium, phosphorus, potassium. These are doing okay right here, but I don't know. Like, the leaves are growing out and dying. The plants are limp. I mean, I've been trimming off the leaves that are dying because I feel like they're not adding, and like this is just, it's sad. I'm basically leaving these here to try and help the fruit that is on here to ripen. And about right here is where I ran out of that dirt. And like, my pepper plant seems to love it. It's doing great. And I don't know if it's moisture, because this is more of a clay-based dirt. And then, so here we have these tomatoes. And they are full and lush. And this is where the compost was. And then here are my tomatillos. They are huge and beautiful. And now everything has been watered at the same time, fertilized at the same time. I've done everything that I can to them. But this side is suffering. And the only thing I can think of is the soil. Okay, so my second mistake was knowing your plants, and not just shoving them in a bed where there's space. So I, for some reason, put cucumbers in with my peppers. Now, it looks nice in the bed, and the peppers aren't doing too bad, but peppers don't like to be watered as often. Cucumbers like to be watered a lot. So it gets into a little sticky predicament when you plant them together. So let me show you what they look like. Okay, so cucumbers are on the trellis, doing fantastic. And then my pepper plants are in front. Now I do have a tomatillo. Here's another thing of knowing what you plant. I didn't realize how big tomatillos get. I'll show you my other tomatillos and you'll understand what I'm saying. But here's where the problem lies, is cucumbers put out lots of leaves, which provides a lot of shade, which would be great for lettuce or those kind of crops, but peppers need lots of sun. So like, these guys, while still looking good, are probably getting a little too much shade. So I have to heavily prune the leaves on top of them. And like, this guy is pretty sparse. He could probably use some more sunshine. Okay, so when I was talking about knowing your plants, it's good to know how big they get, because when you put too many in one spot, which is what I have done, because I was like, I need to grow as much food as possible. So I've put too many plants in smaller spaces. So my tomatillos that I put 4, no, actually there's 5 tomatillo plants. And then I threw in some tomato plants in there. The tomatillos are huge. The tomato plants are suffering. Let me show you. Okay, so here we go. Here are my tomatillos. And see how huge and big they are and full. And then I have like this tomato plant probably could use some more sunshine. This guy is far too close. He got leggy and I had to stake him up. But if you come in here, for some reason, I put a tomato plant right in the middle. And well, it's not doing so great. Probably just gonna pull it as much as that kills me. So as you can see, those tomatillos are just all over. So I probably should have spaced them out a little more. So lesson for next year. So my next mistake this year was I didn't mark anything. Part of it I'm going to blame on my guineas. When I had them all out in trays, setting out in the sun, they jumped on them, knocked them all down, they fell out. I had no idea what was what. So I just scooped them up and planted them in cups, having no idea what they were except for squash. And I planted them. And I planted them all together really closely. So let me show you. And then I added extra plants in there with it. So I really should have had more beds than this one. Okay, here is my squash bed. And it's big and bold and beautiful, but it is packed full. So I did not, like I said, mystery plant. This guy, pumpkin. Pretty sure it's a pumpkin. So that needs a lot of space, and it should have really been planted on the ground, I think, because it grows these little roots at like each intersection. So I think I'm gonna look into how to prune pumpkins. My delicata squash are huge. My zucchinis, everything is just fighting for space right now. And then see, I added a tomatoes in there. See, like, I don't know if you can see, there's a tomato hiding in here. So I need to go in and like prune back a leaf or two. So we are jam packed in here. I have no idea what this will do for pollination. I would also say do a little research on the plants you're planting. For instance, watermelon. I just learned that if your watermelon gets cross-pollinated like with a cucumber, it will totally change it. And that with squash, things that get cross-pollinated, it changes. So, peppers, didn't know that either. You know, if you plant different peppers together, it will change them. So you could have a spicy bell pepper, you could have mild hot peppers. It's all a fun learning experience. And I planted 2 watermelons right by each other. Probably not the best decision. Let me show you. So here's a watermelon, and then there's a second watermelon there, plus more squash next to my pumpkin. Not the best decision I've ever made. So all of those get big. They grow out, they sprawl out, and I really should have just put them back here on the ground somewhere. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on the garden, but those are my lessons I've learned. I hope you learn from them when you plant your garden, and make space, know what you're planting, know how to care for them, and most important, soil quality is king. If this was helpful for you, I'd love for you to like, follow, share us. We want to share everything about our lives here, good, bad, so hopefully you can learn from our mistakes, and can't wait to show you the harvest from our garden. Have a great day. I'm Brandy, and see you next time.